Welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do a short tutorial today to show you how I make these fleece pom-pom balls. Now this video is going to be geared towards more the pet aspect of crafting. One of my big passions is pets and rescue. I have a few rescue animals, including some rescue ferrets, and more recently this year I rescued 2 sugar gliders. And aside from felting and fiber arts, another big passion of mine is crafting for my pets. I make a lot of things for my pets, toys, bedding, things like that. So on this channel, in the future, I do plan to do more tutorials that are geared towards the pet aspect of crafting, maybe like bedding, things like that. But this is a short one. I just wanted to show you how I make fleece pom-pom balls for my sugar gliders. The safe way. So just before I get started, sugar gliders, toys are big in the sugar glider community. There's a lot of different toys you can buy or make for sugar gliders, and they really love it. They love enrichment in their cage. And a ball pit is a pretty popular one, and I've seen a lot of different creative ones, and sugar gliders love them. They love digging in them, foraging. You can throw treats in there. It's a great thing to add to your cage if you have sugar gliders. And what I noticed, and what other people have noticed, is that people, when they filled their ball pits, they would fill them with these. So I just have these to show you. So this is a pom-pom, like a standard crafting pom-pom. You can buy it like at the dollar store or Michael's or any sort of craft store like that. And I think people once, maybe a few years ago, thought these were fine and safe for sugar gliders, but later found out they were not. And the reason being is that they're kind of flimsy, they're not very well constructed, and sugar gliders love to chew on things. So people have found out when they put these in the ball pit for their sugar gliders and they would chew on them, they come apart pretty easily. And if you notice, you know, like I didn't even have to pull on it that hard, and I pulled a pretty good piece of the pom-pom off. And I have heard stories of sugar gliders ingesting these fibrous little pieces, and it can cause injury and even death. So I think people more recently have figured out that these aren't so great to put in your ball pits. I mean, you know, I don't want to tell people what to do. I'm not an expert or anything, but for my guys, I don't use these in their ball pits. I make my own fleece pom-poms because fleece is completely safe for sugar gliders, and I make these. They're constructed a lot better. The fiber, it's not really fiber, but the pieces that make up the pom-pom, the fleece pieces, are thicker. So if they do happen to pull one out, you know, it can't get wrapped around their neck or anything like that. And they're washable too. You could put them in your washing machine and reuse them, so that's pretty great. So I'm going to show you today how I make them safely, so they're safe for the sugar gliders, and how I do it basically. You can make them many different sizes. So this one I think is a little too big. I don't think I would really put this in my sugar gliders ball pit. It's considering it's the same size as them. I think I just made this one as a one-off, just messing around. But you know, if you don't want to use them for your sugar gliders or any sort of pets, you could, you know, use them also in crafting. Like I would put this as like a pom-pom on a hat probably. But you know, usually the sizes I make for these guys is smaller, like this size or this size here. So I'm going to show you how I do that. So what you need is, you need your fleece strips. You don't want to cut them too thin. You don't want to cut them like skinny, like this. Like that's not good. That's not safe. They could break easily, get wrapped around their neck. You want them thicker. That's the whole point of the pom-pom, is a safe alternative to this. So you want to cut your strips thicker, not like strings. Like this is maybe about like an inch. That's about how thick I cut mine. And you could do one solid color pom-pom like this, or you could do a mix of colors. I'm gonna do pink and green just to show you how I do 2 different colors. So what you need is, you need fleece strips. You want to cut them long, like I don't know, like 30-35 inches long, or just messing around with it, see what works. You could always cut it down shorter if you don't like it. You're going to need some zip ties, some scissors. And also, if you decide to use zip ties, you don't have to use zip ties. I like using zip ties because I think they hold up better, and I can really tighten them and get that zip tie real tight around that fleece, so there's no pulling out of the pieces of the pom pom ball. So that's why you like using zip ties. But if you wanted to, you could use a piece of fleece like this and use it as a tie around the middle. You'll see what I'm talking about. And then also, what you would need if you use the zip ties is a pair of pliers, preferably ones that have teeth. I know these pair of pliers are pretty ugly, but I use them a lot. Preferably ones that have teeth, like these, like a grip, to grip the zip tie. Okay, so I don't want to make this too long of a video, so I'm going to get to showing you how I do this. So I take one of the strips of fleece that I've cut, and I just use my fingers. I use like 2 or 3 fingers, and I start wrapping. So if you're using one solid color and one just continuous color length piece of fleece, you could just keep wrapping. But if you're going to use a couple different colors in your pom pom ball, I'll show you how I do it. That's why I picked 2 different colors here. So I wrap around 3 fingers here, starting with one color. And then I'm going to take my green and I'm going to start wrapping it. And what I do is I just do one loop with one color, one loop with the other color, and then I just keep going. One loop with the green, one loop with the pink. And I just overlap them onto each other like that. So this way it's not like all one color is, unless you want to make it like that. I mean, you can if you want to. But this way it's the colors kind of dispersed throughout the pom-pom. It's not like concentrated to one side or, you know, one group of the color. So this way, by overlapping them like this, I get the color dispersed evenly. And you just keep wrapping. Until you have, and then slide it off, until you have something like this. And then, so depending on, so this is maybe a little bigger than I wanted to, but I'm going to cut it down to size. So then depending on the size, I have 2 different size zip ties here. I'm probably going to use this one. This one's, I don't know, I think you call this like a medium size zip tie. But also, if you have a smaller, if yours comes out smaller than this, a smaller roll, you can use little zip ties. But I'm going to use this big zip tie here. So you just find the center. Like that. Pull hand tight, you know, as tight as you can get it with your hands. But the fleece is pretty dense, so, you know, I can only go so much with my strength. You might be a little stronger than me. That's where your pliers come in. So I take the pliers and I give it like a really good tight tug with the pliers. And sometimes I can get like a few more clicks on that zip tie and really make it very tight. So nothing's going to be coming out of here. Nothing's going to be falling out. So, you know, you should have something like this where it kind of muffin tops over the zip tie here. You want that zip tie squeezing that center really tight. Then cut the slack off the end of your zip tie. Try to cut it, you know, if you're making these for sugar gliders or pets, you want to make it safe, so try to cut it as close as you can to the base. I'm going to end up shaving this down to shave these little plastic sharp edges off, but I try to get it as close as I can to the base here, so there's less to file down. Then you take your scissors and you start cutting. So you want to cut where it's folded over. You want to cut like right here. So you have a bunch of these little fold overs. So you just want to start cutting to separate them. So after you cut all your loops, you'll have something that looks like this. And you could, so now it's kind of up to you how you want your pom-pom to look for your sugar gliders. If you want it to be kind of like long and floppy like this, I mean, that's fine. You can kind of maybe trim it up to make it more even around a more circular, even shape. I like mine to be smaller though, more condensed, more something like this. I don't think I'm going to be able to get this one that small, but that's okay. So I just start trimming down, and I try to keep the spherical shape. I try to keep a nice round shape as I go around. Alright, I think I'm getting close to the size I want here. So this is the finished one here, my pink and green pom-pom. I probably would have made it a tiny bit smaller, but this, I mean, this is okay. It's not huge, and I could still put it in there. It's like, this is probably as large as I would go for the ones I would put in their ball pit. But usually I like to make them smaller. So if you want to make them smaller, you know, maybe you could do not make it as big when you're wrapping it. Do less wraps, make it a little smaller, and then this way you'll be able to cut it down more. There won't be so much fleece to cut down. But I mean, it's not too huge of a difference in size, which is okay. Just a side note, if you're going to wash these in the washing machine, you could do them by hand, which I don't know, I probably recommend. But if you're gonna wash these in a washing machine, probably use something like a lingerie bag, a bra bag, those mesh laundry bags. This way it won't get all beat up in the laundry, especially if you wash it with other clothing. But yeah, so that's it. Thank you for watching, and I hope this is helpful to some people. In the future, I really I want to focus on doing more videos, kind of like the last one I did, where I showed people how to do different techniques when making needle felted animals. I think in my next video, what I want to show people how to do is how to make bird feet, because like on Facebook and Instagram, things like that, I have a lot of people asking me how I make my bird feet. So I think I want to share that with people, how I do this. So here's a bird I'm actually working on for a customer, and these are the bird feet here. Having trouble to get the camera to focus on them. Oh. But I want to, so these are completely made out of wire, wool, and wax. Kind of very similar to how I did my tiny fingers and hands video. Just a little bit different of a technique. I use powdered pigments, things like that. So I think in the next video I'm going to share how I make bird feet, because I think birds are kind of popular in needle felting. I see a lot of really wonderfully done birds, and realism's kind of a thing people go towards when they're doing, especially needle felted animals. And I really like doing them this way. I think they come out pretty neat. So I'm gonna make another tutorial. Hopefully it's not gonna take a long time, that I can get it up there and share that with you guys, because I'd really like to share how I make these little bird feet. So for next time, we will save that for next time. So until then, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye guys.